All right, welcome to the Tribe Digital Marketing Series. I'm joined today by Cory Gabor, who is a marketing consultant on LeadMD's revenue operations team. Cory, thanks for joining.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Josh.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. So revenue ops is interesting. Talk to me a little bit about what you're most passionate about in marketing. Is it in revenue ops or something else?
Yeah, I would say it definitely ties directly into revenue ops. I was I started using Marketo 7 years ago, and I really just fell in love with marketing automation in general. Marketing automation is a beast, and there's Marketo, but then there's also tons of other systems out there. So I love Marketo, marketing automation, but I also just love learning other new systems as well, and then taking that and getting to work with clients across the board on different types of platforms.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, shoot, marketing automation, how many careers did it launch?
Oh my God. Yeah, I can't even put a number on that. That would be really cool to see.
But I mean, 15 years ago was revenue ops, marketing ops. Was that even a thing?
No, not really. I was still in school then, but yeah, it definitely wasn't a thing.
Yeah, I think it's super cool. I'm like you. I kind of grew up with Marketo like 10 years ago, was a power user, admin, early days. And it's just amazing to me how much it's grown in just the past 10 years. It's nuts.
Yeah. And then I would also even add there, just after you said that, another thing I'm really just passionate about is, it took me so long to get ramped up on Marketo. I was self-taught, right? So I spent a lot of time reading the community, like just looking for tools out there. And like now being a consultant, been using Marketo for 7 years now. Like I love getting to actually take the tools that I've learned and spent the time learning and just ramping people up so much quicker than, what it took me. So I think
that's the cheat,
cool.
Right?
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, I feel like that's part of the value even of our organization is just a cheat code, like helping people, shorten that learning curve for whatever technology it is they're looking at.
For sure. Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, since we're talking a little bit about tech and tech is obviously an important role in what's going on right now where people don't have the ability to run their normal conferences, they can't meet face-to-face with clients and prospects. What are some tips that you might provide to people who might view this video to kind of pivot into digital marketing right now?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would really, now is a great time to take a step back. Everyone's going through this very difficult time. It's a crisis, right? Like everyone's dealing with it. It's not easy. And, we're lucky enough where we get to, I work from home all the time. The tribe, we all pivot really quickly and we're all working remote, but there's people that don't have the opportunity to do that. And they're in really tough situations. So I would say the biggest thing is as a company and as a corporation, make sure you're thinking of people as people in this time, right? Before you send out a message, is that message actually appropriate for this current environment? I've seen a lot of messages just in my inbox that are not. And I've even been on Twitter and looking at different, just feedback from people, companies getting absolutely blasted just because of an email that they sent out.
Yeah.
So this is a really good time to think about, you're still going to have to, I get it. Companies are still going to have to push a product, but It's really not a good time to be pushing. I think you need to look at, people are stressed. You need to look at giving them an actual offer that has value to them. So whether that be free resources, some ways to cope with what's going on, education. I think Jamie talked about education
for sure.
A few days ago. But really giving them an offer that's actually valuable. I had a client this week where we needed to run a promo, right? It's not the easiest time to do it, but the promo that we're going to run is very valuable to somebody that would have been considering that product anyway, where they're going to get the product for X amount of months for no cost or very minimal cost, which is that's okay to be sending out things like that. There's just a lot of things that, a lot of communications that you really need to be careful with right now.
Yeah. It sounds like what I'm hearing is a little bit of right now is the time to be pulling instead of pushing, right? And what that pull is by providing education, providing free resources, providing offers, providing value of whatever it is your solution or platform is in the marketplace, bringing that value forward as much as you possibly can, because it'll set up goodwill for later down the road.
Yeah. That's exactly, that's it. That's it. Right. And, you could damage a brand really quickly. It takes a lot of time to build up a brand and have, customers that love you and all of that. And you want to make sure you're not going to damage that over just some pushy email.
Yeah, for sure. I know I talked to a few customers who were saying that, man, I'm really glad we spent the time getting our technology in order so that we can react to some of these
Mhm.
things now. And then there's others that are saying, oh man, we're behind the eight ball. We need to get our systems in place, whether it's marketing automation or data capture or whatever that may be.
Mhm.
What are some things that people should be thinking about who are maybe behind the eight ball on systems?
Yeah, I mean, it takes time. So I think if you are behind, I would say start creating a plan, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't know what that plan is, talk to somebody that might know, and start getting the tools and the resources in place in order to actually take that and start working towards a working system that's going to work for you in the long term.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that, time has freed up a little bit for folks. So it could be a good time to build a plan.
Exactly. Yeah, and then like I guess one other point that I'd make before we wrap up is just in general, like, you're not going to be spending all this money on events. You're not going to be able to have those events. And I think it's just the time where you need to not slow down. I would even say like you got to ramp up digitally, like on your digital spend.
Yeah.
You definitely want to be spending more money in this situation.
Yeah. Tie the messaging that you're, the non-tone deaf messaging to your digital efforts and spend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, Cory. Well, I love it. Thanks for taking a few minutes.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.